All right, we are live after some issues beforehand. YouTube was not trying to let me go live, but we're here. We're live. We're locked in for the pre-market rundown today on April 11th, 2023. Super excited to be here and to dive into the news notes, but most importantly, the mindset necessary to keeping us consistently profitable here. Had a nice day yesterday on NVIDIA, nice day on SPY, nice day on QQQ. Looking to continue that, but obviously remain patient as we head into FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Let's see if I can go ahead and pull up the notes that we have for this morning. As always, I hope everybody had a nice, restful, and restorative night's sleep. Like I said, YouTube was giving me a few issues earlier. I got all the way to the live stream page, and it said, live stream not functioning currently, retry or finish. So I had to actually in the live stream twice to restart it, but third time's the charm. We're in here now and we are ready to go. And that's, always an important lesson because every time you try and do something that's productive, a lot of times you're going to meet some type of resistance, right? I feel like the world makes it easy for you to remain complacent and to not do what you're intending to do. Just make sure you continue to push, right? And eventually it'll work out for you, just like we're all able to convene here for this morning's pre-market rundown. So everybody, make sure you drop a 1 in the chat, right? Signifying your intention to get 1% better by the end of this session. We had a great session yesterday, looking to continue that into today. Trying to see if I feel like I might give people a second to go ahead and make their way in here. And I'll also take a second to post on the story that we are live. All right, and we can roll that way just to make sure. I know typically everybody who needs to make their way in here can make their way in here by now. But just in case, right, we'll go ahead and throw it up there. Any new people, any new followers, all that good stuff. It'll give them time to make their way in. Let me also grab the link. And again, I dropped a very important, very impactful reel for any, new traders, any people that are new or struggling with consistency, something of that nature. Make sure you watch that. That was over on Instagram yesterday. So please make sure that you go ahead and watch that. That's kind of a new trader challenge for people that are just getting started. Even if you're not getting started and you're struggling with consistency, then make sure that you adhere to those rules, right? Do it for 1 month. And I guarantee you'll start to see amazing results. A lot of times with trading, it's, we spread ourselves too thin and too wide. We don't go deep, right? We don't focus in and focus on process over profits. And a lot of times that's what ends up leading to the struggle, right? You kind of have this dragon eating its own tail where you never quite end up profitable because you do some profitable trades, you do some unprofitable trades, you keep track of a few trades, you lose a few trades, and at the end of the day, you just kind of, don't end up accomplishing much, right? We want to try to circumvent that, right, by putting rules and systems in place to help with over trading, right, to help with spreading yourself too thin, to help with indulging in things that you shouldn't be indulging in when you've already reached your goal, right? So those are all very important. So make sure that you guys go back, watch that reel on Instagram that was posted yesterday. And, if you need to engage in that challenge, make sure you engage in that challenge, right? A lot of times it's not us finding new information that makes the difference. A lot of us know what we need to do, right? Or we've come across what we need to do. It's just the discipline to do it, right? So that challenge really helps in order to culture discipline, right? Rather than it is giving you new information. A lot of times new information is not going to help you. It's only going to further confuse you because you think the info is the problem, but the discipline is the problem, right? 99% of the time, the discipline is the problem. So that's a huge help when it comes to discipline. All right, so we're live now and every morning at 8:40 to 8:45 a.m., depending on if YouTube wants to be nice to me, for our daily pre-market rundown session. Awesome. Subscribe and tap in for a free game. All right. Awesome. Man, I appreciate you guys that are on here. bearing with me through this. We'll throw up the link and then we will be ready to go. Cool, cool, cool. So, boom. There we go. Awesome. Locked, loaded, ready to continue. Also, just a cool little actually, I don't know. Maybe I won't announce it yet. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with it. So maybe I'll keep that on the down low. But now that I've dropped that little nugget of secrecy, let's jump into something else that should have remained secret, but it got leaked. We've got a major intel leak here that is the top news today for April 11th, 2023. Now, U.S. officials are scrambling to track the source of a major leak of classified documents, which included details on Ukraine's defense plans and intelligence on diplomatic allies, and are reviewing how they share secrets internally. Wow. These documents appeared on social media sites in recent weeks, some of which are meant to be seen only by those with the highest security clearance levels. The leak, said to be one of the largest in U.S. military's history and the most damaging since WikiLeaks in 2013, is currently being investigated by the Department of Defense. Wow, that is crazy. Feel sorry for anybody who was undercover or anything who was named in that leak, because heads literally rolled as a result of the past big security leaks. Digging deeper, U.S. officials said the documents originated in the government, but some may have been altered. The documents were reportedly changed to understate estimates of Russian casualties and overstate those of Ukrainian forces. The documents also showed that the Biden administration is of the view that Ukraine could run out of ammunition for its air defenses by May. The government also appears to be pessimistic about Ukraine's prospects in retaking territories captured by Russian forces. Officials and national security experts suspect the leak may have been caused by an American, although pro-Russian actors have not been ruled out. Wow, this is messy. And this is actually the first that I've been hearing of this. Bigger picture, while foreign allies of the U.S. are largely silent on the matter, the leak has ruffled feathers and is being closely watched. South Korea has spoken to U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin about the incident, and Australia has sought further information. The U.S. has definitely, or the U.S. definitely has some work to do to rebuild the trust of its allies. However, some experts believe the impact from the leak will be short term, while long term shared interests will remain strong. I agree with that, but it is one of those things where it's like you gotta keep things under wraps. Like, what is going on right now that we have leaks like this going on? That is, one of the issues with cyber warfare, right, being the main battleground nowadays for what goes on. It looks like also the fact that the documents were reportedly changed to underestimates of Russian casualties and overstate those of Ukrainian forces. I'm trying to understand exactly who they're insinuating changed them. Like if they're insinuating that the Biden administration changed the documents in order to make things look worse for Ukraine so that they get more aid. That's what it seems like they're alluding to, but I do not know. So I feel like I'm not going to speak on that, but it seems like they're saying that the documents were reportedly changed. I don't know why they'd be changed in order to understate the estimates of Russian casualties and overstate those of Ukrainian forces, unless Russians like took it and then changed it and then leaked it. But it's all right now just seeming like a messy situation altogether. Let's see here. I'm not sure exactly when this news broke, so we can look and see. I don't know if this was yesterday. If any of you guys know, if any of you guys who are still watching traditional news, because I don't watch traditional news, if you know if this news broke yesterday, let me know. Or if this was overnight, I can look and see if we got anything overnight. But I'm just kind of looking to see if this impacted, movement that we got here this morning or not. Of course, Thinkorswim went and locked up on me in the background. Yeah, it doesn't look like we had, kind of any major reaction in terms of prices right off the bat. Taiwan Defense Ministry. Yeah, I'm not really seeing, just more seeing things about China's military exercises. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything about this. So I don't think that this right now, has had any material impact in terms of price action. You always want to check and see, right? Okay, when was this news leaked? And, when this news came to light, did we see SPY sell off, right? The S&P sell off, the NASDAQ sell off. Until something has a material effect, you have to assume that it just doesn't. I mean, again, we live in a world where we have so many headlines each and every day that major things get drowned out. Like there was another shooting. Rest in peace to those and praying for those affected. But there was another shooting yesterday at a bank in Louisville, and like I think I only saw one headline about that. So it's just one of those things where it's like the world is so crazy right now, so volatile, that some things don't even move markets. And it looks like as of right now, because people don't know what to make of it, this major intel leak hasn't really had any type of repercussions. So we'll see, right? Make sure to keep an eye on that, keep that in the back of our heads here. But as of right now, not seeming like it's having any material impact. Now, shifting over to cryptocurrency news here, $30,000 breached. So all the Bitcoin maxis, wave your hands up, yay. Bitcoin has crossed $30,000 for the first time in 10 months today, as investors are increasingly betting on the Federal Reserve ending its monetary tightening policy ahead of the release of key inflation data tomorrow. The top cryptocurrency jumped to 30.3K, its highest level since June of 2022. Ethereum rose 2%, inching closer to 2K. Overall, the trend is up, indicating a bullish market for cryptocurrencies. Matrixport tweeted, crypto has been driven by alpha factors, which is positive. More than 87% of all Bitcoin future trades liquidated in the past 24 hours were short or bets against the rise in prices, CoinDesk reported. Losses from these trades amounted to some $145 million in the process. Knox Ridley Investing Group, leader of Tech Insider Network, said now that Bitcoin has risen nearly 90% from its November low, we must conclude that this appears to be more than just a bear market bounce. So as of right now, right, Bitcoin looking good, up over 80%, right, almost 90% from the November low. There are a number of stocks that are in the exact same spot. So for everybody who's like, oh, you can only get these moves in crypto, you can't, right? You can get these moves all over. Facebook is more than 100% where it was at the lows, right? Meta, right? Same thing with Nvidia, right? Has moved higher than 90% from the lows that it experienced. So for everybody who's like, oh, you can only get this in crypto, you can actually get it in a lot of places, right? But awesome for Bitcoin. Like we said, end of last year broke the weekly downtrend. So that was going to be the beginning, the newfound kind of buyer sentiment taking cryptos higher, and that looks to be the case as of right now. So congratulations, to my big Bitcoin holders, my big Bitcoin maxis, and I wish continued success to you. Looks like Bitcoin was in a nice, what is it here? We had a nice daily bull flag that's firing on Bitcoin. Broke out, looks like 2 days ago. So as of yesterday, right, we had that nice breakup on Bitcoin above 2,900, really 2945 and or 29045. And from there, we're off to the races, right? So Bitcoin pushing higher. Congratulations, to them and to all my crypto peeps. But overall, right now, technicals for Bitcoin looking good as we fire this daily bull flag, happened yesterday, and then we continue to push here into today. Now, let's see what we got going on here. And of course, in terms of taking advantage of that in the stock market, you can look at tickers like Coin, Mara, Riot, right? All of those are different stock tickers to take note of, as we go into today, right? So when we talk about different opportunities that can arise today based off of this sentiment, we're talking about Coinbase, right? Coinbase sitting here higher pre-market, but with Bitcoin running like that, Coinbase is definitely on the radar, especially given the fact that looking, at Coinbase's chart here, we got a potential double bottom here on the daily for Coinbase. We also have a gap that Coinbase left above. So once Coinbase crosses over 70.26, it's entering that gap fill area, right? And it is right underneath that right now. So Coinbase also something to watch, as we get ready to go into today. So that's just a little bit of free game, right? Just a little bit of free game off the bat. We've got Coinbase on the radar, right? And we're paying attention to that as we get, those market bells ringing for the open. Now, in terms of healthcare news, more vaccines. The U.S. government is launching a $5 billion plus program to accelerate the development of new COVID-19 vaccines and treatments. Officials from the Biden administration and the Department of Health and Human Services confirmed yesterday. An HHS official said Project NextGen will encourage public-private collaborations similar to the Operation Warp Speed program that helped develop and distribute COVID vaccines under former President Donald Trump in 2020. We Quote, we've begun surveying the landscape out there, assessing what vaccine candidates are available, and moving through what exciting technologies are there, said Dawn O'Connell, Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response at HHS. O'Connell said the government has started efforts to search for private sector partners. Leading COVID vaccine developers in the U.S. include Pfizer slash BioNTech and Moderna. Last week, Dr. Tedros Adhanom, oh wow, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. He's just gonna get it. He's just gonna get Ghebreyesus because that sounds pretty cool. Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, head of the World Health Organization, said the global body could announce an end to the emergency status of COVID this year. The U.S. is expected to lift the public health emergency in May, which will likely result in vaccine sales declining by 10 billion between 2021 and 2028. Obviously, that directly affects Pfizer and Moderna, right? So PFE, mRNA, both of those probably coming into today with negative sentiment, based off of that news. So definitely something to keep an eye on there for Pfizer and Moderna. Again, any of these, any vaccine or any, what am I trying to say? Like pharmaceutical companies, any big pharma companies are like subject to news, right? There could be news that they come out with another drug that cures cancer, and then they go through the roof. So just there's always an added element of caution that needs to be exercised when you're dealing with, kind of these biomedical stocks or these pharmaceutical stocks because of that. But overall, definitely not good news, for Pfizer and BioNTech. If it gets, if we lift the public health emergency in May, because that's $10 million, less that's spent on COVID. But at the same time, like they're launching a $5 billion program to accelerate the development of new vaccines and treatments. So it's kind of like, what is the purpose? Like we're sitting here and it's like, okay, so we're looking to lift the public health emergency in May on COVID, but I mean, maybe this is just for, because as of this point, they're treating COVID like the flu, right? And we talked about this a number of months ago, right? Literally almost a year ago at this point about how COVID was going to be kind of gradually reclassified, and it was globally as endemic rather than pandemic. Endemic being something that we just live with, kind of like the flu, rather than it being a pandemic where it's like, oh, like disrupting normal life. Now it's more so just kind of treated like the flu. So we'll, kind of look to see what develops from this. It's looking like, I guess, that, I'm not sure exactly how this plays out, right? They're giving money to these companies in order to, help them develop more vaccines, but also at the same time, there's going to be less vaccine sales that happen because of this. So, this is kind of one of those things where, again, there's not an immediate repercussion in terms of how this will play out. You just kind of got to let it play out and see what goes on. To be honest, I'm more comfortable just sticking with nice blue chip tickers that have beautiful chart patterns that play out, and we don't have to worry about parsing through all of this, right? That's the important thing, is that there's so many opportunities in the market. You're not going to get all of them. So what's it best to do? Stick to the opportunities that look good, have a high probability of paying, and execute on those instead of saying, oh, I could make some money possibly through these vaccine stocks, which are already super volatile. So I'm going to see if I can just throw something at the wall and it sticks. Not worth your time, right? Not worth your time. Focus on what pays. You will make more money making less trades over the course of the long term, hands down, right? Over and over and over again. Focus on good trades, execute those, you'll be good. Now, in terms of consumer news, fees for returns, Amazon has instituted a new fee for some returns at UPS stores in order to compensate for return costs. The e-commerce giant introduced a charge if return options at Whole Foods, Kohl's, or Amazon Fresh locations are closer or just as far than a UPS store return location. So the new fee for returns at UPS stores supplements existing charges for delivery driver pickup of returns. An Amazon spokesperson confirmed the changes at an email to Seeking Alpha. The representative characterized the fee as small, noting that Amazon continues to offer convenient, easy returns to customers with one or more options for label-free, box-free returns at no cost. The company has been on a cost-cutting spree, announcing layoffs of close to 30,000 employees and halting construction of its second headquarters in Virginia. Seeking Alpha contributor Tradevestor noted that the recent moves toward efficiency are more than welcome. Before we give Amazon way too much credit, let's remember that it is merely undoing some of its recent self-inflicted collateral damages, they cautioned. Now, in terms of today's markets, in Asia, it's looking mostly green across the board. In Asia, Japan, we're up 1.1%. Hong Kong, we're up 0.8. China down 0.1. India up 0.5. The FTSE in London up 0.3%, Paris up 0.8, Frankfurt up 0.4. The Dow up 0.1%, basically flat. S&P up 0.2, Nasdaq up 0.2, crude oil down 0.1, gold up 0.8, Bitcoin up 6.2%. Let's see where we are right now. Are we still up pre-market, or let's see? It looks like SPY is flat. Looks basically flat, maybe slightly green. It looks like we'll probably look to open flat at open in terms of SPY. So that's where we're at, right? Opening up relatively where we closed yesterday. In terms of today's economic calendar, I don't think we had anything big on the calendar for today. I will double check just to make sure. Tuesday, Chicago Fed President Goolsbee speaks at 1:30. That's really the only thing. So if at 1:30 we see some type of volatility, it's because we have a member of the Fed, Goolsbee, speaking. But other than that, nothing really going on. So we can wrap up here with our rapid fire bullet point rundown. So Tesla could continue cutting prices, analysts advise. Google, ticker GOOGL, and also GOOG, fined $32 million for blocking rivals' video games. Global PC shipments fall 29% in first quarter. Growth expected after 2023. Alibaba, ticker BABA, unveils Chat GPT-like service to be integrated across all products. Petrobras, ticker PBR, plans to honor signed contracts while stopping pending asset sales. Newmont, ticker NEM, which is a mining company, right? They mine a lot of gold. Sweden's bid for Newcrest, valuing it at $19.5 billion. FTC seeks court order to block ICE's acquisition of Black Knight. So again, we've got more regulation here on merger and acquisition deals. That's how it's been under the Biden administration. Less deals going down, and a lot more regulation and kind of whip cracking. Hexo, ticker HEXO, sinks as Tilray Brands, ticker TLRY, confirms acquisition at a 24% discount. Syneos Health, ticker SYNH, stock gains on report of interest from private equity companies. And then Cineworld finalizes reorganization plan to emerge from bankruptcy. So that'll wrap us up here for our pre-market rundown and news for April 11th, 2023. As always, right, if you got even one valuable piece or morsel of information from this session, just show love to the account, right? The Instagram account, the YouTube shorts, right? The TikTok account. Show love, throw comments, right? Save, send. Make sure that you're sharing this with your friends. We're literally on here. You just saw me break down and give out free game on tickers to be looking at here this morning, right? So make sure that you're bringing friends here. Friends will let friends stay broke. We got to make sure that we're continuing to ensure and maintain each other's financial vitality together, right? These are the environments that we look to maintain and we look to keep. With so much negativity going on, we got to be focused and solution oriented, right, with what's happening here. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Can my camera tune in? Can we focus? It doesn't like when I look at myself on screen. Maybe they have some type of vainness filter or something, but I'm just trying to say goodbye to you guys face to face. But anyways, everybody have a great day out there in markets, right? Congratulations for you for tuning in, getting 1% better, investing in yourself. That's always going to net the biggest return. We had a great day yesterday, QQQ, NVIDIA, SPY, right? Looking to follow that up with another good day today. Everybody have a great rest of your day. They want to take us out blurry. I don't care. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning on our next pre-market rundown. Have a good one.